Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Gorlworld. Earth to Gorlworld. Hopefully you're having some fun, Gorlworlders everywhere. Anyone who enjoys the lolcows of YouTube, of the internet, welcome in. Welcome to the Docta Fill show. All right. So yes, there's been some issues with my software. StreamYard they just decided to make the free version worse, and they took away a feature which I used to use to show my own videos. I can't do that anymore, so I'm going to be having to switch to a different streaming service. I think there's one called Streamlabs that's supposed to be pretty good. Try them out. Anyway, so yeah, today's going to be pretty janky looking because the videos don't work properly. I can still use videos from YouTube, but I can't put my own little videos in. So those little videos that I show between clips, like this one here, this is actually being shared from another screen. That's why it's not looping it. I have to manually click play. But anyway, that's over with. Who cares about that crap? Let's get on with the show. All right. Welcome in, Nutty. Good to see ya. Yes, everyone, please hit that like button if you're enjoying the stream. If you'd like to see more of this content. What up, Alizu? Good to see ya. What up, trolls? Let me turn off this music here. What's up, Hannah? Third live today. Well, I hope you're enjoying it. Welcome in, Hannah 2276, and welcome in, Capricorn and Jay. Yikes. Good to see you, Cap. All right, today we got a few options. I got a few programs. First, we have a short vid from Foodie, a vlog of her in Syria, which I have not had a chance to watch yet. Actually, I think I did watch it, but I don't remember it. I have a bunch of Glitter and Lasers content because I did not cover her last week. There's a lot going on with her. She's been touring the country, going to national parks, lying about how much exercise she does, and I actually think I have a way to prove it for once. I mean, not prove, but believe demonstrates it. She also allegedly went to a wellness retreat. This is kind of late-breaking news. Glitter and Lasers is at a wellness retreat. Allegedly, it's costs $5,000 a week. It's called Sky Terra. We're going to be talking about that as well. So what else is going on right now? We've got Andrew Ditch. I'm going to be covering him a little bit. And Rosie. Rosie just went live earlier today. So if any of you folks want to see Rosie, let me know in the chat because I might cover her as well today. We can only have so much time, though. So what are we going to start with? We're going to start with the foodie beauty herself, the Syrian seal. All right, let's see what we got here. Or she's not Syrian, but she's temporarily Syrian, I guess we could say. So let me pull up my foodie playlist. We'll get started. One second, folks. Just getting the... Oh, and I also have been uploading videos, clips of my streams lately. So if anybody wants to see some old... I shouldn't say old. If anybody wants to get a chance to review some content they missed the first time, the videos I've been uploading are a great way to do that. Okay, so here is Foodie's video. Let me share the screen. Like I said, I can't do the little clips in between like I used to. Unfortunately, StreamYard is no longer offering that service, which is really crappy because that was like the best thing they had. All right. And some of you have probably seen this already, but it's a pretty short one. So if you have, hey, either way, hopefully you'll enjoy it. Foodie has also been doing some vlogs or some lives rather. Foodie's also been doing some lives. They've been kind of boring. I watched some of them. Not really a lot to report from the lives. Oh, whoops, it's not chatting the screen. Hold on.
After the fall
there we go.
of the Assad regime,
Sorry,
Now,
folks.
I have been quite busy adjusting to life here. Therefore, so far, I have only managed to accumulate some clips
Welcome
of
in,
some
Edna
of the
B.
surrounding
Hope you're
areas
having a
we
good
have been
evening.
to
Welcome in,
and
Steady
my
C.
journey
Good to
here.
see you.
I will do a lot more vlogging, inshallah, especially of
Just
the
nice
more
to-
touristy areas. So stay tuned for that, and
The
as
non-
always, thanks for
The non-touristy areas. So like the entire country.
watching. So, without further ado, here are some clips from my journey.
Literally the entire country.
So far. So my journey starts with flying from Istanbul.
Oh, and for
Turkey.
anybody not aware, I probably should mention this. Maybe not everybody knows this, but Syria's been having civil war for a while now. It's been pretty bad. It's also a battlefield for a lot of other international countries when they're international powers when they're warring. Syria happens to be kind of in between some of these other warring powers.
To Beirut, Lebanon. I flew 9.5 hours from Montreal, Canada to
Can everyone hear the video okay?
Istanbul.
Is the volume
and then
good?
I had a 12-hour layover there before flying to Beirut. Here I am staring at the departures board, waiting patiently.
Agreed, Edna.
Well, kind of patiently.
I didn't think
to
the
see
power
which
would be that
gate
good.
I needed to trek to. I was so over traveling at this point. When I arrived at Beirut airport, I was picked up by a taxi service who helps you through immigration. And
I thought this was interesting here. She said that when she got to the Beirut airport in Lebanon, a taxi drove her into Syria rather than taking the plane directly to the Damascus airport. Damascus is the capital of Syria. So I thought that was an interesting detail. That car looks a little small for Foodie, but she made it
across the border into Syria from Beirut. And he gave me an iced coffee and a water, and we were on our way. I decided to go the land border way into Syria from Lebanon instead of flying into Damascus.
Beautiful mountains. It's sad to see that the place is so torn up from
just
the war.
Because it was recommended that that's just a better way to go by other travelers. So here I am in the taxi. I've never been to Lebanon, so I was actually, or Syria, but I was actually taken aback by the mountain ranges and just the kind of hills, you know, the winding roads as we were driving along. It's about probably about 5:30 a.m. here. I arrived in Beirut at 3 a.m., but the border only opens at 6 a.m. So we had...
The border opens at 6 a.m. So the border is just closed overnight. That's interesting to think about, an international border that closes for the night.
Some waiting to do before we could cross over. Here we are, finally in Syria after what felt like a million-hour journey. I'm finally here, and just like in Lebanon, I was taken aback at how beautiful the landscape in Syria was.
Capricorn, I can relate to that just a little bit. Being a Floridian, I've dealt with, I mean, nothing like a war, of course, but I've been through some hurricanes, and we've had power outages that lasted over a week, and it's rough. You know, you start to live a little differently, where you get out of the habit of keeping, you know, frozen food or keeping food for day. You just kind of get your food for the day and you eat it. And every day you have to go get fresh food. You just kind of get into that. I guess that's how it was, you know, before 100 years ago.
It was just so gorgeous. There were a lot of the new
have to get fresh food every day.
revolutionary flags with the 3 stars.
I mean, it probably still is.
I just was enjoying taking in the scenery. So many mountains. And just like in Lebanon, Syria had a very similar landscape, I noticed. I was amazed by Syria had a very similar landscape, I noticed. I was amazed by the olive trees in Syria. I love olives. Like,
this road looks super, like, scary. Imagine driving this road at night. Like, this looks like the most dangerous road to drive at night.
In my middle name. So
there's no lights here either.
There are a lot of trees like this together. You can actually smell olives as you drive.
And look at that little ditch next to the side. Imagine running into that.
Olives are one of Syria's most ancient agricultural products. Olives have to be cured or brined for several weeks, though, so it's not like I can just pick them off trees and eat them. But nonetheless, here we are driving around and past many olive trees. And the olive trees are not just in farm areas. They are too, but they're also just in like urban areas, like right outside of our apartment pretty much as well. By the way, you might hear fan noise as I'm recording.
Now, I think this raises some ethical questions as well. On one hand, I think it's great that Foodie is going to Syria, that she's helping to revitalize the economy, bringing tourism back. But is it really, are they ready for that? Is the country secure to the point where they're really ready to accommodate tourists, especially tourists who could be as difficult to accommodate as Foodie Beauty? I mean, there's only one way to find out, I guess.
Because it's pretty hot here right now. So, but driving in more populated towns like Damascus can be kind of hectic, I will admit.
One thing that stands out to me is the vehicles are a lot newer and in better shape than you would expect for a war-torn country. Like a lot of these vehicles look fairly new. Some of them look
Especially as a
old,
foreigner.
but some of them
I
look
didn't
relatively
drive,
new.
luckily, and nor would I want to attempt to. But as you can see, the narrow roads in between buildings are quite bustling at times. There are people walking in the middle of the road, and you must beep your horn, and they will just move out of the way. There are many small businesses and shops along either side of the street. These small shops, which are like convenience stores here in Syria, are called dukkans. I know I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but I am, after all, just an English-speaking Canadian woman. We stopped at one of these stores to get cold water, but because Syria has regular and prolonged power outages throughout the day, the shop owner and many others didn't have cold water or even any electricity at all, so no problem, at least he had water, which was good enough for us.
Just such a rough situation out there. I mean, you really feel for the people seeing this. It's almost hard to make jokes because I like to make jokes about Foodie. I don't want to make jokes about, a place
at
that's
all, so
really
no
struggling
problem,
like
at
that.
least he had water, which was good enough for us. Here we saw some livestock on
We'll be
the side of
moving
the
on to the
road,
funnier stuff soon.
maybe for purchase, or they belong to someone.
Yeah, it's
I'm not
almost kind of
sure.
depressing.
And here, kids and just people in.
I mean, as far as Foodie's coverage of the place, I feel like, I feel like she's providing some context. I don't think this is the worst coverage I've seen, as far, especially by the standards which she usually covers things.
General, but especially kids love to drive.
It's sad to see.
In the
It's
back
not
of
fun.
these
It's not a
trucks
fun
here with, like, the
subject.
cage,
This is not the fun part of the show
on
today.
the truck bed, and they hang on to it. This was making me extremely nervous for the boy in yellow, especially. I was saying, get on the truck, and here we have a bunch of flags with a big building, and I was told it's, I think it's a university, so could be wrong about that, but that's what it was thought to be there on the right. So I don't really.
I know Chantel's been talking a lot with her neighbors. Just I watched some of her vlogs. She said that she's been, like, her neighbors have been very hospitable, and they've been giving her food, and she's really been interacting with them a lot, which I think is good in a way. But my opinion, I think that the minute they need something from Foodie and she tells them hell no, then it's all going to shift. But the real Foodie's going to come out at some point. And when they see that, I think the hospitality is going to dry up.
You have much else to say. You're going to see a lot of buildings that look kind of dilapidated.
It is interesting.
In between functioning buildings, but
only
I'll just
the electricity, as far as I know,
clips
Edna.
here.
The electricity in Syria is they have power outages that are scheduled. Like they know they're only going to have power for a portion of the day. So people kind of plan for the portions of the day when they have power, but they also have unplanned outages as well. So yes, a lot of stores will have to be without power for extended periods of time. In fact, Foodie mentioned when she first was arriving, the cab driver took her to a convenience store and they had no cold water because the power had been out for a while. So it's a very tough situation. My heart really goes out to those people. Welcome in, Jamie. Hey, well, as long as you enjoy seeing it. I mean, I think it's interesting, which is why I'm showing it. It's just, yeah, like Elise, yeah, it's interesting. It's a little depressing, but it's interesting at least, At least this is the kind of stuff that, I mean, just as a person, I find this interesting because it's something I don't normally see. Yeah, you'd think that probably wouldn't be a bad idea. And welcome into any lurkers, anyone I missed, anybody watching the replay. If you're watching a video of this that I've clipped, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great night. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think if you're watching the replay. All viewers, lurkers, commenters are much appreciated.
Of Syria, between the dilapidated buildings, there is a beautiful landscape, just like these mountains here.
I mean, you can tell by looking at you can tell by looking at this that this place was not that long ago. This place was in good shape. Look at that road. That pavement is not that old. I mean, it almost looks like they were in the middle of paving it when the war started. Because it's like halfway paved and then they just didn't finish. Like they were probably repaving it when the war got out of hand. And it's like the country is just frozen in place.
Beautiful landscape, just like these mountains here. And so, yeah, that's it. Here we go. Why did the chicken and her chicklets cross the road? The soil here in Syria, in particular in the mountainous
Welcome in, Nutty.
and valley regions, is red. It's also known as
I like your
Mediterranean soil.
new picture.
And these are the only camels we've
Something
seen so
different,
far
right?
here in Syria. We passed by this KFC knockoff called KFG. I don't know what the G stands for, but
KFG. I wonder what that is. Something food good? I don't even know.
apparently they have
Oh, they have coffee and shisha.
crispy chicken and other dishes. So stay tuned for that. Now
What was
they
that?
have
What was that next door
crispy
to it? A video
chicken
game-
and
A video game store. Look at that. It's either a video game store or a video game or an internet cafe. You can see the video game controller, PS4. Okay, so I bet that's where Salah hangs out. Now we know where Salah goes during the day. When Foodie's driving him crazy, he just goes down here. He goes to play in the arcade, and then he picks her up some KFG chicken. Takes that home for her.
other dishes. So stay tuned for that. Now
Yeah,
they have
let me see
crispy
that picture
chicken
again.
and other dishes. So stay tuned for
PS4 cafe. Yeah, video. That's like a local arcade, because I would imagine that the average it's probably too expensive to get a modern video game device. So that's pretty cool. They got PS4 as a pretty modern system. That's
that.
it's not cheap.
Now this next series of clips
Like he's trying to
is
quarrel.
very sad, quite sad. It's the remains of a war-torn country and from the Syrian civil war.
Now this part is very sad to see the actual destroyed buildings. Not too much to say about it, except it's just the toll of war is very sad to see. It really drives it home, because it really makes it feel more real to me, because like I watch this and I think, man, that could be where I live. Like this looks, this looks like a Western place that was bombed out. This looks like a modern place that was destroyed, and it's sad to see it.
So I've just compiled a bunch of buildings that have been bombed, and a lot of them are in rubble, and these were once people's homes. So it's really, really sad. The one
And you know what else this shows? These were good quality constructions, because if you look in a lot of places, like they just have a lot of countries, they don't really have good construction. And if a bomb drops, like everything is just leveled. You could see here, these foundations are still standing. The walls are still standing. I've got a feeling that people could absolutely come in here and renovate. A lot of these properties could probably be rebuilt, which is a testament to the quality of the original building.
ones that are not so bombed are littered with bullet holes.
Welcome in,
It's
Sense of
just
Wander. Welcome in, Rose Store
so
Reacts.
surreal to
Good
be
see ya.
driving past and seeing this. And what was
If
more
one of my
surprising,
mods could be kind enough to post a link to Rose Thorn Reacts channel. She has a fantastic channel of her own. Also does a lot of Gorlworld content and has some cool live tarot readings. So definitely check her out if that sounds interesting to you.
to learn is that there are people still living in these ruins in their homes, and I would say probably because they don't have much choice, sadly. And my heart goes out to the people of Syria.
Oh, I know Foodie said they had a landlord, but here's my conspiracy theory. Does anybody else think that Foodie and Salah might be squatting in a property that was abandoned because of the conflict? And maybe their quote unquote landlord is just somebody who's also squatting, right? Like, I mean, it's possible. It's absolutely possible.
And inshallah, it can soon start to rebuild.
Because I saw her place, it was actually kind of dirty when she moved in. It did not look like anybody had been living there for a long time before they moved in. So that lends credence, in my opinion, to the theory that maybe nobody was living there before then.
Being such a war-torn country. And of course, there are revolutionary 3-star Syrian flags everywhere. And we even, on this day, had one taped to the hood of our car.
Rose Thorn.
So on this particular
Let me read this comment from Rose aloud, because this is a very interesting comment here. Foodie is going to be demonetized doing content in Syria. Filming without a work visa permit is illegal there. Interesting. I wonder if she can try to claim some kind of journalism exception and say, well, I'm filming stuff about the war, maybe. I don't know if that's allowed or not, but that might be Might be a possibility. Welcome in, Rudy. Good to see you. Today is my final day of the Source 100-day challenge. Congratulations, Rudy. Hopefully you're having a lot of success. Good to hear that. Welcome in, BJ Punk. Hopefully you're having a great night. Why they take turns sleeping? Interesting. Interesting. That's absolutely possible.
And explored some valleys. I don't
Good
really
question.
know or remember the name of this location. There's a little bit of water there. Now, that canyon,
Oh, okay.
that valley used to be full of water, but there's been some droughts. So, unfortunately, that's all the water that there was. Now,
Okay. Now, I want everybody to look at this because we're going to be looking at Glitter and Lasers walking later. And I want you to compare how Foodie walks to how Glitter and Lasers walks. One thing that's really shocking to me is how far forward Foodie is leaning. Like, when it looks like she would tip over, doesn't it? Like, she's leaning forward at such an angle that, looking at this in a freeze frame, it's amazing that she doesn't tip over. But her actual walking is not as bad as I would have predicted. She's not waddling too badly. Her feet, she's a little bit walking on the sides of her feet, but I think Glitter is a little bit worse than that. I also think she's bending her knees a little more than Glitter does, which is another good thing. So I think that they're pretty similar. I think Glitter is a little bit more fit, but not by that much more.
here's me trying to climb back up from going all the way down.
I mean, because remember when Glitter was climbing up that sand dune, she said it took her 4 tries to make it up. This is a pretty steep looking hill, and Foodie's, taking it without too much trouble.
And it was quite a workout. It wasn't too hot, actually. There was a nice breeze in the valley, but oh my goodness, this was a workout for me. As you can see, I'm trying to waddle up the mountain, but I also got to get some different clothing, so maybe some lighter clothing. But yeah, here I am just taking my time.
Rose Thorn with the insight.
The valley. It was.
Foodie loves her filters, and I think you're right. I do think you're right. Because she does look more compact. She doesn't look as fat as she usually does.
It's a very nice day. Excuse me. Just taking a break here because it's a lot of exercise for somebody who's used to a sedentary lifestyle. But we've been going out and doing walks like
Nutty.
this and just enjoying.
I didn't even think of that.
Syria's very.
That's a scary thing to consider, and there could be unexploded munitions. Because a lot of times when missiles or bombs are dropped, they don't always explode. Sometimes they won't explode, and then they'll blow up later. Oh, welcome in, Tucker and Friends. Missed you coming in there. Good to see you. And welcome into anybody I have missed. All lurkers, all commenters, everyone is very much appreciated here. And all opinions are welcome. Let me always say that too. All opinions are welcome as long as they're expressed respectfully. No government. Where would you even report her to? Good question. I mean, it feels like the laws there are only being enforced, when they have the opportunity. Even though I'm making fun of Foodie a little bit, I actually like to see this I like to see her moving. I like to see her getting exercise. Even though I make fun of Foodie and I don't like her, there's a lot of things about her I don't like. I still do like to see her getting out there and moving and being a little healthier, if for nothing else, to try to set a better example for her Beezers.
Various landscapes. And I'm going to end this vlog by showing you what we picked up for lunch to eat in the valley area. Some chickens that were really, really delicious, and we made shawarma with them. So, thanks for watching, and a lot more vlogs, inshallah, from Syria to come.
All right. So, let me load up the Glitter and Lasers, expose. I've got I got like 2 weeks worth of her social media posts and videos. So just give me a moment to get that pulled up. Oh, welcome in, Rosebud. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good evening. Oh, welcome in, Fallen Angel 69. Hope you're having a good evening as well. Oh, yes, please. And Nutty as well. And any of my mods, if you have a channel you want to throw up there, you're more than welcome to do so. All right. So let me pull up the content here. For anybody not aware, Glitter and Lasers is right now, she's in a place called Sky Terra. It is a wellness camp, and she is going to be there for approximately a week. And there's going to be some fun stuff at the end of that. Let me get that for you. So, okay. So the parks journey. So I already covered week 1. She began this trip to the national parks. Let me start off with one of the first videos just to get you in the show, the one that I think I already showed this one from a week ago, but let me show it again. So let me pull this up, share this tab. 1 second here. And I don't have the ability to load up the videos because StreamYard's just screwed me over. They no longer offer that in their free service anymore. Okay, so here's Glitter talking about her first summer road trip of the summer. Starbucks ambassador, corn syrup drink ambassador. All right, let me load the video. And here we go. Glitter and Lasers time.
Road trip of the summer. And since I'm partnered with Starbucks, I'm kicking off the trip right with an iced horchata oat milk shaken espresso.
All right, so Glitter and Lasers always got to start off her day with a sugary drink. Man, she really bit the crap out of her cuticle. Look how bloody that is. But yeah, she's got her big sugary drink, although it looks really small in her hand. An iced horchata. I don't even know what horchata is, but it's full of oat milk, shaken espresso, so it's got very little protein.
I love the warmth of the cinnamon in this drink, and honestly, I needed the caffeine because I had a long way to drive. One of my goals posted.
What the heck is that? Holy crap. Holy crap. What is that? That looks like she's wearing, what do you call it? A shower curtain and some caution tape or some masking tape and a shower curtain, right? And I love how you can see this giant hole she ripped in her face there. Really influencing fashion, Glitter.
Surgery is to visit all of the national parks, and I'm hoping to cross 3 off of my list with this trip.
Damn, she is filling up you can't even see like any part of the chair that she's in.
And while it might seem like a long way.
Oh, hopefully let me turn off this music because this is probably going to demonetize me. I already am demonetized, doesn't matter.
It's totally worth.
Okay, so Glitter is presenting the impression that she's going to be walking miles and miles and miles through the national parks, hiking and hiking, compression under every outfit, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, bed sheet, that works, tablecloth, horchata is made from rice. Thank you, Wookie Lover. Welcome in, Wookie Lover. Thank you for the information. I was not aware of that. I get that impression too. I mean, that would explain why she always has the holes in her face. You know, Wookie, I hope it does too. I hope it gets her in a better mindset because Glitter is spiraling, in my opinion. Ever since she got the liposuction, she has been headed off a cliff. She's been getting heavier. She sounds more delusional. She seems to be experiencing more pain, more discomfort, and certainly her fashion sense has not gotten any better. So let's go to the next video. I have a whole bunch of videos. Let me load these up. Okay, so let me share this tab.
This trip did not go as expected.
Hot Springs National Park
Hot Springs National Park
might be the weirdest national park, and that's because the majority of the park is in a series of bathhouses. Like, this is the Lamar bathhouse. How cool is that tile? And it sells completely normal national park merchandise, like bathrobes and soaps. There's even a bathtub you can get in and take a picture, which, of course, when in Arkansas, I had to do.
Look how she fills up that tub. I have a picture of a normal-sized person inside that tub that I'm going to share. I got these from Kiwi Farms, by the way. Let me thank Kiwi Farms because they do that. Here we got normal-sized woman. I'd say that she's not especially small. Average-sized woman. Maybe even a little on the tall side. And then we've got Glitter.
It's really hot. We walked down a little further, and supposedly you should be able to touch the stream without, burning your hand, like I did on the last one.
Oh, no. There are 2 things you're supposed to do in Hot Springs, Arkansas.
When Glitter walks, she looks so much like Foodie from the back. when she walks. The way she's hunched forward, with her shoulders rolled down, with her head pointed down, and her entire body mass leaned forward to compensate for her weight.
Go to a bathhouse and go to Superior Brewing and try beer that's been brewed with spring water. Did we do either of them? No, because of poor planning. Superior Baths Brewery was closed.
I thought this was Miss Type A, who always has everything planned out in advance.
And we simply just did not have time to go to a bathhouse.
Found pizza. Well, glad they found that. And notice here, this entire tray here is empty. This entire plate is empty. So who knows how much she's already polished off.
Some pizza and a patio, so everything's okay.
Yeah, I finished my...
This is supposed to have
But who's
magical healing
sponsoring
properties, and what a way to leave.
Who's sponsoring Anna? Because I don't believe she's doing this for her own enjoyment. Anna doesn't do anything for her own enjoyment except eat and drink and get plastic surgery. And even that, she likes to be sponsored. So I don't think she's doing this just for, to enrich her life. But what do you folks think? Why do you think she's doing this national parks trip? Tries too hard to be quirky and silly. Must be exhausting. Absolutely. Oh, good eyes, Wookie. I didn't even notice that. I'm going to look at the next picture. We'll see that. Okay, so let me pull up the next video. This is Anna going in a cave.
Chinese streets and it's hard. We're at Mammoth Cave National Park.
Look at how big she's gotten. This is after liposuction. She just keeps getting bigger every picture. I mean, this is supposed to be after liposuction.
This is mildly terrifying.
Sure, she literally is the same. She's the width of the entire thing. She's the entire width of the passage. This is, how does she squeeze through?
I'm not gonna lie.
Is this how the caverns were in New Mexico?
No.
She literally is stuck. She's literally stuck.
Absolutely not. Is this what hell looks like?
Holy crap.
I'm gonna get myself into.
See why you have,
What is the weight limit on this?
you have to be
Yeah,
like
this is almost too fat. I'm too tall. I'm too fat.
This is, I mean, I'm glad she's going on an adventure. I think that's cool. But I mean, if I was following her, I'd be afraid she would actually get stuck in this.
It's okay. We're doing it. We're doing it. There's so many scales.
She is, look at this. She looks absolutely like she's going to get stuck.
It's just so tiny. Guess what, guys? More steps.
Good job getting out there.
Old lady walk through the cave.
This feels like a horror movie.
I just hiked 700 steps.
700 steps from glitter. Good point, Capricorn. I didn't do it. Somebody else must have done it by accident. I didn't do it. Whoever, yeah, somebody could try to get Wookie Lover back in here. I'm sorry, Wookie Lover. I don't know what happened there. Somebody must have timed you out by accident. I didn't know about that. Hopefully, yeah, Lizu, see if you can get Wookie back in there. But let me load up the next video. And I can't load the videos in between like I normally do because of StreamYard's not working for it, unfortunately. Here is a funny one. What the hell is this? Bear. It's a bear. Apparently those folks came by and said she looked like a bear. I mean, yeah, there you go. At least she has a sense of humor with that. Yeah, sorry about that, Wookie. You'll be back in here soon, hopefully. Good question, Sense of Wander. I have no clue what they would do. Okay, let me load the next video. Anna loads a bunch of short videos, so I don't have any long ones, unfortunately. Got to turn off the music on this one. Let me get the other one. Let's look at these feet walking again, now that I have a chance. Okay. She's going to twist an ankle. This woman is going to twist an ankle. Look at this. Look at how she's walking. Jesus. Totally to the side. Remember we watched Foodie walk earlier? Who looks like they have a more stable gait, Glitter or Foodie?
Everything in me not to cancel tonight. Being in the car for
It's taken everything in her to not cancel tonight. She's got a big event this day. Let's just
like
want
4
to
days
cancel
straight. It's pretty much like broken me down. It's broken me down. One of the hardest things about living with a chronic illness, figuring out when to push and when to rest. It's all very confusing, to be honest, and I'm still figuring it out. Honestly, if I wasn't on a road trip, I probably just would have stayed in bed. But the activity we're going to tonight
Okay, this video is gonna run. I'm gonna see if I can get Wookie Lover back in.
is kind of like one of those once in a lifetime things.
Wookie, I'm gonna try to get you back in. Hold on.
Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and I just don't think I'll ever be back here. I just don't. So even though I'm exhausted, I'm doing it. I hope I don't regret this. I'm not doing my hair because you know what? This is enough.
Listen, I don't know yet if I pushed too hard by going, but I'm glad I went. Sometimes you just have to take the chance because the experience is worth it.
I got home, and now I just need to get some sleep.
All right, I think Wookie should be able to come back at this point, hopefully. Hopefully Wookie Lover can come back now. All right. Let me go back to the other one now. So, sorry, I missed this. I was looking at the other screen.
The activity we're going to tonight is kind of like one of those once in a lifetime things. We're in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and I just don't think I'll ever be back here. I just don't. So even though I'm exhausted, I'm doing it. I hope I don't regret this.
So she's so exhausted. She doesn't want to go, she's not sure if she should even go do this because she's just so exhausted. What commitment is this?
I'm not doing my hair because you know what? This is enough.
Listen.
She went to a pirate dinner theater, and this pirate dinner theater looks perfectly fine. But this is the big deal? This is the once in a lifetime event she was afraid to cancel?
And I don't know yet if I pushed too hard by going, but
She pushed herself too hard. Going to a restaurant? She went to this place where she just sat down and ate food. But that was too hard, too much of a push.
glad I went. Sometimes you just have to take the chance because the experience is worth it.
Just have to take a chance. Your girl pushing herself beyond those limits and going out to a restaurant. Now, when Foodie talks about sealing, that's disrespectful because this seal is like 20 times the athlete that she could ever hope to be. Look at that. Look at those moves. Look at that. Foodie wishes.
I got home, and now I just need to get some sleep.
Oh, she's so relatable. Once in a lifetime event. All right. Oh, no more times out for tonight. Okay, so let me got a couple more from Glitter. Let me find one of the good posts I wanted to show. Okay, here is the Skyterra wellness camp that she is at right now. Okay, do you notice anything about these other three women in this tab? One of them has a number as if she was in a race, and the other three have medals. What do those medals say? Somebody on Kiwi Farms was kind enough to look it up. The Skyterra camp where Anna is staying happens to have a weekly 5K walk. Yes, a 5K walk. If you do the 5K walk, you get a medal for finishing. It looks like Anna didn't even bother to participate. She didn't get here. If she did, she certainly didn't finish. If she did finish, she's not wearing her medal. I mean, maybe she didn't want to do it because it was a walk and she doesn't like to walk. She just likes to run. Is that what it was? It was too easy for her. She didn't want to do it. What do you folks think? I think she thought it was going to be a little too easy for her. She didn't think it would be fair for the others for her to do, because she's such an athlete because she does like 2-3 miles every day. So it really wouldn't be fair to the other competitors because she would just smoke them, because she's such a fit athlete. So let me see what other picks I got here. I got a few more. Yeah, 3 miles every day because she's a real athlete. Let's see what else I got here. Here we go. So the 5K. Proof of the 5K. Someone from Kiwi Farms was kind enough to go to the Skyterra Wellness social media page, and they found this post. Walk, jog, or fun run a 5K during your Skyterra stay. It's a great way to explore our on-campus trails, spend some time in the fresh mountain air, and get moving first thing in the morning. The Skyterra 5K is non-competitive unless you are staying for multiple weeks and want to compete against yourself. Good job getting out there, ladies. And you can clearly see that these are the same medals that these women are wearing. So Anna was clearly at the place when the run occurred. She talks about how she's always running 2 to 3 miles every day. She takes her dog on these 2 to 3 mile walks when she goes to the national park. But for some reason, when they had a 5K walk at the wellness retreat, she didn't go. She didn't do it. She didn't post about it. Wonder why. Yes, that as well, Capricorn. Thank you for reminding me of that. You could really see it in this picture here. Isn't she, I bet she's really happy with that plastic surgery, right? That plastic surgery on her calf was money really well spent. Or was it this calf that they did the surgery on? Which calf did they do the surgery? Oh, that's right. They did surgery on both of them. Are you sure? I mean, this is insane. She looks like they put she's gotten so much bigger. She's just gotten so much bigger, and this is after the surgery. Come on, Anna. I'm not trying to shame you for being big, but I am going to shame you for BSing your audience. That plastic surgery you got looks like, if anything, it actually harmed you. So let's see what else we got here. I got a few more clips, and then we're going to cover Rosie, who finally did a new live. Oh, I forgot to cover this one from the week before. Let me put this one on. Anna doing her horrible dance. Look at how you can really see the difference in the calves here. The right calf is so much bigger than the left. Wow. And that side boob there is really, ugh. Okay, let's see what else we got. I got a couple more. Oh, here we go. Here's the one where she tries to climb up the sand dune. There's always gonna be... I can't use the music on this one, unfortunately. Yeah. This is time lapse. This is sped up by about 4 times. Good God. This is the athlete, the 600-pound Olympic athlete. Let me see what other pictures I got here. Hold on. Oh, here we got a before and after. Another one of Anna's plastic surgery results. Here we go. This is somebody from Kiwi Farms posted this one on the before and after. On the right is the before. 3/15/2024 on the right. This one on the left is current. I know the angle is making her look bigger, but this is crazy how much bigger she is in this one here. Her leg is completely covering the middle console. You can't even see it at all. This is after plastic surgery. It's crazy how much bigger she's gotten. Welcome in, Fiona Tom. Good to see you. 600-pound Olympic athlete. Literally. Capricorn, your guess is as good as mine. This girl has no fashion sense. And finally, for Anna, I've got a real special treat here. Somebody found this on the Internet Archive. Anna talking about her sex life. Yes. We always joke about Anna's Anna being a perma-virgin, but turns out that she used to hoe it up. Let's let it show. So this is from her old blog from February 8, 2016. First off, these pictures here. Good Lord. What is she trying to accomplish? Look at this outfit. She should be arrested for that. That's a crime against humanity. At this time, I know. 2016, I'm not sure. Maybe she was then. So let's read a little bit of this. I have not read this yet, so this is a new one for us. Anecdotes of Amore. How I became an international nasty girl. February 8th, 2016. So many moons ago, I used to travel excessively for work. I lived out of a suitcase. I had one of those jet set lives you see on TV, except with no hair and makeup team. Be in the UK one day, Paris the next. Find myself on a trip to Thailand with a presentation to do. Living was exhausting. However, on the outside looking in, my life looked amazing. So the ladies of SNL did a skit called Dongs All Over the World about girls traveling the world and crossing the countries off the map once they'd gotten it in. My friends chuckled to themselves and thought of me. Here's the video if you haven't seen it, because you really should. Now, we're not watching a Saturday Night Live video. Naturally, given my line of work and constant travel schedule, when the video first aired, I wasn't able to catch it. I didn't have any idea that this little lady's sex anthem gem even existed. Okay, let's go on to the part where she talks about her own experience. I was at a Paris cafe with a few French coworkers that I finally found a few minutes to check out the clip. Where does it go on? Okay, yes, I had to awkwardly discuss what a dong is. What is the appropriate context to use such a word? I felt like I was in a sexual term spelling bee. Can use it in a sentence, root of origin, part of speech. This is, of course, followed by coworkers working the word into any sentence they could. I thought this was going to be about her sex life. Here we go. This day, my French coworkers think I am a sexual conquistador. Also, they love that dong song and enjoy. All right, this was not even that good. This was just, these pictures are terrible though. At least we got these horrible pictures. All right, well, there we go. Sorry, folks. I thought it was going to be about her sex life. Well, actually, I guess it kind of is. Spoiler, there was no sex life. Okay. The only sex life was her getting arrested for wearing this outfit. Good God. This is a crime against humanity. She looks like the world's cheapest hooker. All right. Well, with that out of the way, let's look up Rosie, who's finally gone live again. So 1 second here. Let me pull up Rosie. And we're going to switch it off to the Rosie vid because she did a good live one. A good live recently. So pull that up. One second here, folks. All right, let me load this up. We're going to have Rosie, who I didn't even know went live until like 5 minutes before the show started. She's in the hospital, by the way. Anybody not aware of Rosie? She is basically does feeder bait videos regularly. She's always dry begging her audience for money. She used to have a job. She said she only went when she felt like it, and she just quit. And now she's saying that. Well, let's let her say it. So let me fast forward just a little bit. I'm going to put it on high-speed playback because she's kind of talks slowly. Oh, whoops, it's not showing. I'm sorry. Here you go.
Boo Boo Kitty Fuck.
My bad.
Diaper David Haman is an insane username. I just wanted to throw that out there. That's a crazy username. But yeah.
Welcome in,
So I guess I'll
Catsy.
just kind of start
People
yapping.
glitter hose.
Because obviously the past like 6 weeks, so basically when
Oh, she was much
got
smaller
here,
there. Yes, Fiona's mom. That was. I want to say that was 8 or 9 years ago. So she was much smaller then.
I haven't been
Much
doing
younger, too.
nearly as many lives. And in the beginning, I talked a little bit about that. I did a couple sporadic ones, and then I just stopped.
Welcome in, Nancy.
And the couple of sporadic ones was really fueled by the fact that our AC was like, it basically became broken.
Interesting.
And then
That's not a
so
bad
it's
idea.
like a 2 or 3 week period where like our house.
She's going to give a very convoluted answer. I can spoil it and tell you because I have watched this. I've watched most of this at least. But she's going to tell you in just a minute or two. So let's let her tell you. It's I don't want to say funny. I'll let you decide.
During the majority of the day, it was like between 86 and 89 degrees, and it was almost unlivable.
So she's saying her AC broke. Where has she been? Because Rosie's been gone for weeks. Like she just did a live a few weeks ago with her family, and now she's been gone.
And then it was like I like couldn't
Spoil
function.
it. All
There was
right,
no
I'll
way in
spoil
hell.
it. Rosie basically had a heart attack scare, not an actual heart attack, but had a heart attack scare where she had chest pains, she had numbness, she had nausea, she had all the symptoms of a heart attack, and because she's well over 600 pounds, the hospital took that very seriously, and she's in there for observation, and she's getting a bunch of tests done. What was actually wrong with her? It might have just been allergies, might have just been stress, but they thought it could have been a heart attack. So that's what, but it wasn't.
Doing cooking streams in this heat, like I can't handle it. I can't do it. And then eventually we get the AC fixed, and then it's going to be less. And at that point, it was going to be less than a week from.
Yes, she does, Fiona's mom. I was going to comment that her hair looks greasy as heck. I remember seeing her hair looking like this greasy before, and I thought, well, maybe it was wet. But that hair is just greasy as heck.
Sorry, I am dealing with like a lot of brain fog, so I'm sorry if I kind of like forget what I'm saying or get distracted like that. Hello, Wicked.
That'll put you in the hospital.
But what the fuck was I talking about? Oh, so when the AC came back on, I don't believe that I did any lives before. I think because my niece was coming into town, and so I kind of briefly talked about it in a prior live that like I was not going to go live while she was here in town.
Yeah, she says she didn't want to go live because her niece was here. That makes zero sense. Why couldn't her niece just go into her own room for an hour? I mean, maybe there's some details I'm not aware of. But did she need to provide care for her niece? Like constant care? She couldn't tell her niece, "Hey, niece, go watch some show for 30 minutes. Go play games for 40 minutes. Go talk to your cousin for an hour. I'm going to do a live for my audience because I miss them so much." And they're always, their memberships, they're spending money. It's the least I could do is go live once a month.
Because y'all know I have very strong stances about like minors on the internet and stuff. I've always been like that.
Well, this makes no sense. You have strong stance about minors on the internet. So don't put her on the internet. Why can't you go on the internet? What does your niece have to do with you doing a live? Why can't you do a live? Because your niece is in the same building? How does that work again? You got to protect children on the internet so you can't go live in the same building when they're not Huh?
But especially like when it comes to my family and the fact that there are some really malicious people that watch me, I was just like, I can't even risk it.
I'm
like,
not sure.
I can't fucking
I'm
risk
not
it.
sure.
Like if she accidentally says something that she shouldn't, or, you know, I was just like, I can't fucking risk it. So I spent a lot of time with my family.
Hold on. So she says she can't risk it because her niece might say something that she shouldn't. So don't put your niece on camera. What? Just don't put her on camera. Why does your niece have to go on camera? Why can't you go live without having your niece come on with you? I don't understand that.
We went and we went to like a vendor event in our local city. I wish I was home so I could show you guys. My niece and I tie-dyed a bunch of
All right,
t-shirts.
Nutty.
And
I have
she
to
tie-dyed.
say, I have to say something. I was wondering if it was just me thinking that, but she really does look bigger. I mean, it could be swelling. You know, that's part of why she's in the hospital. She could be swollen up, but she actually does look bigger.
One specifically, like one of mine specifically for me. It was something that was so much
That's
fun.
only been like a month.
We played in the pool a lot. That girl got in the pool like basically every day. Some days I was like, I don't even got the energy to keep up with the kid. But we had a lot of fun. And you know, during all that time, I was job hunting like crazy. I interviewed a few times, and it was just rejection after rejection after rejection. It's been a bit of a humbling experience because I have such a staunch work history and like years and years of experience, and I've never had this much issue getting a remote job, and it's been humbling to say the least.
Now, I'm not gonna try to get on a high horse here because, I mean, you know, I can't speak for everybody, you know, exactly their personal situation, but if I was in a situation where I really needed the work that I had, I wouldn't quit that job before finding another one if that was the only option I had. So, I mean, I'm not going to go off on her. I'm not going to like make fun of her, but come on, Rosie, like you kind of dug this hole for yourself.
My last vlog was, hold on.
She did. She quit. It's staunch work history. What the heck does that mean?
Florida. That's so true.
A staunch work history. I mean, right? That's a new one. It's a staunch work. It's staunch.
But yeah, so what was I saying? I was back to YouTube for a while, and I left for like a bunch of different reasons, and I'm glad that I did. And then this time I took another step back because during that time I was putting a lot of energy into like trying to rediscover the things that I like and enjoy, because I feel like depression really like stole my personality from me. Job hunting, yeah. So I was job hunting like crazy, and then about a week ago, like from today.
Depression stole her personality? Well, so you're saying you're not normally like this? Okay, well, I guess that's a good thing.
Hey, I got sick, and you guys might know little bits and pieces about what's been going on if you've been watching my Instagram stories, because I have been posting little updates there.
Right.
So like if you saw my Instagram stories today/yesterday, you would know that I was in the hospital. But I got sick, and it was initially just like head congestion, nasal congestion, itchy nose, coughing up gunk, you know, like just sinus headache, like that kind of sick, and I was like knocked out on my ass for 3 or 4 days.
I mean, and again, I don't want to be too. I don't want to sound like a know-it-all here, but I just want to mention that if Rosie doesn't really have like a line of work that she's trying to get into, then like I don't understand what she's looking for. Like she quit her old job, but the new job is going to be exactly the same kind of work. She's looking for more of the same work. So I don't see how she's going to find a job that she's going to like if she keeps looking for the same work that she doesn't enjoy doing. I mean, and obviously not everybody can always enjoy their job, but like if she's looking for work that she doesn't want to do, well, it's just going to end up the same way every time.
And then I started recuperating, getting a little bit better, but I could kind of feel some of that
I think
sickness
so.
had traveled down into my lungs. I was getting a little wheezy,
I think she
which
did.
is something I deal with about once or twice a year since I was like a kid.
I mean, it would be
something I've always...
If Rosie showered regularly, she'd probably not be as heavy because it's a lot of exercise to shower when you're that big. When you're as big as her, I mean, washing up takes there's a lot of body to wash. You got a lot of, you just have more surface area. There's a lot of body that you need to scrub, and you're going to get tired out because, you know, you have to move a lot of body weight in order to clean up. So yeah, like for her, washing up probably takes like an hour, maybe more.
Dealt with, because I'm pretty sure, honestly, it was just allergies. And that happened right after I got in some bullshit situation with someone that I tried to.
Well, let's
make a
hear
friend
it in
with
her
the
words,
area.
Nutty,
I'm
right?
not getting into that today. I'm too tired. That whole thing was a fucking shit show. And I was just like, you know, of course, like the one time I tried to.
So I think what's worth mentioning here, she's 7 minutes in, and she still hasn't told her audience what exactly was wrong yet. I know what's wrong because I watched this before. I watched half of this before. But she doesn't tell them anything about yet. She's kind of just holding them in suspense. But let's let her keep going.
Make a friend. She's fucking just. Oh, anyway. And then this all started the night before yesterday. So
Here we go. Finally.
Yeah, and I mean, my COVID test came back negative. My flu test came back negative. So I honestly think it's just my severe allergies that I deal with. But
it's wild to think about it like that. But it really could, that could be, I mean, for somebody like Rosie, that would be her like a full day exercise for her.
Tired. I didn't sleep great last night, and I like kind of slept during the day.
Yeah,
today,
in
but not
Florida, it
really.
can be bad. The humidity here can be bad. That's the worst thing about this place.
The job hunting experience has been humbling as fuck, and you know, I was kind of torn about the live streaming stuff because I was like, honestly, financially, it would really benefit me if I was like doing lives more frequently, and I wanted to come back sooner. But I was just like, I hadn't been feeling good, and I made an executive decision, like my niece's safety and privacy far exceeds any amount of
My
money
niece's safety and privacy is too important. So I can't go live, everybody. I can't go live because my niece is in the building. My niece, you know, like she's in this building somewhere. So I can't go live and do a live for you because she is, you know, somewhere nearby. And her safety is going to be impacted if I do a live. What? That makes no sense. That is bullshit. I'm sorry, part of my language, but I have to call it out. That's exactly just it's total crap.
So
It's crap.
that was kind of like why I made that decision. And
Can anybody? I mean, am I dense? Am I not understanding this? Could somebody in the chat explain to me how if Rosie goes live, it's putting her niece at quote at risk? How is her niece at risk if she does a live? This makes no sense. I mean, am I crazy here?
excuse me. Yeah, and then the job
Probably.
hunting, I mean, I've applied to 100, like at least over 100 jobs already, and
I'm with you there, Steady.
it's just been really difficult trying to find work in a way that I'm not used to, and I'm limited on what I can do because I need to work remote, and so anyway,
Her putting her niece at risk
was laying
to
in bed.
go live. If I go live, my niece is at risk. How? Well, she is. She's in the same building.
Not last night, but the day before. And I got, oh, my arm's shaking. I'm actually literally about to tell the story, Putty Cat. So I was laying in bed, and this is after I'd been sick for almost a week. And I get this really sharp, intense chest pain, like on this side where my heart is. And it kind of shoots through and then extends into my left arm. And like my entire left arm is aching and radiating pain. And then the symptom that I didn't understand at that time was my jaw was like really clenched and like in a lot of pain. I was having a lot of jaw pain, traveled into my neck a little bit. The pain would occasionally radiate over into my right arm and then kind of come back. And then it did once or twice radiate into.
Thank you, Nutty. I mean, applied to over 100 jobs? Well, are you applying to jobs that you're qualified for? Like, I mean, I understand it can be hard to find work sometimes, but it's hard to imagine that she applied to 100 jobs that she's qualified for and has had no success with any of them. I mean, I'm surprised she could find 100 jobs that she's qualified to do.
My upper.
Oh, and why does she have to work remotely? I mean, I don't think she could fit through the door in most workplaces. I don't think no workplace, I don't think there's any workplace that could accommodate her. And I'm being sarcastic with the door comment, but being serious for a second, she would need like a scooty. She would need a special desk. She would need all kinds of special accommodations. And I don't think that the average workplace could provide that. Exactly. How does her going live put her niece at risk? I don't is there something that's not like adding up here for anybody else?
Lower back. And then I was dealing with lightheadedness,
minor
nausea,
she's too fat.
dizziness,
Yeah,
brain
exactly.
fog. And then
Exactly.
that night I also coughed up a minor blood clot. And I
Coughed up a minor blood clot. Yeah, in other words, there was one speck of blood in her phlegm.
just convinced myself that night that I was like, I'm just probably like, it was probably just from coughing a lot from being sick. Like, this is probably just anxiety, because all of my other chest pain in life has been anxiety. I've always had
She doesn't want to put her niece at risk. Well, you know what? We're just terrible. We're just terrible people. We want her to put her family, a young child at risk. Because what? How? Huh? Yeah, it makes not a lick of sense.
good EKG, I've always had everything. So the next day, I'm still still chest pain, still left arm, occasional jaw pain. It wasn't as severe as it was like the first initial event.
She had jaw pain. Well, maybe from eating too much. I mean,
and then like as the day was going on, I just got this like intuition feeling of like, I think I need to go to the hospital, and I'm not sure. But the left arm was like freaking me out, so I finally Googled symptoms of a heart attack in a woman, and quite literally I had almost every single one, and I was like, oh, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me. Okay, oh shit, all right, fuck. Because I also just lost my insurance, so this is a very...
She just lost her insurance from the job that she just quit.
Expensive and not flippant decision that I have to make. It was one of the reasons I didn't go the first night, was because I don't have insurance. So I had like quite literally lost it a week ago. And as y'all know, the government is trying to like cut Medicaid and everything.
Actually, no, I mean, regardless of what the government, in your words, what they're trying to do, Rosie, nothing is, you're eligible for all the same programs today that you were eligible for a year ago. If not, I'd be interested to know which ones.
So, yeah, it's just like, I'm hoping to find a job soon enough that I don't even have to worry about doing that, because I would rather not personally. But I come to the hospital, and they do...
We should mention her brother is over 21, but he is autistic. I'm not sure I believe he is disabled, so it's probably, yeah, I mean, it's not good to send him that, but I just want to mention that he is an adult. Just get that out there. It's not like they sent alcohol to a child, but yeah, it's still, I think I agree that's in poor taste.
Well, they take me really seriously. They do like a whole workup, bunch of blood work. The EKG initially came back good, but the symptoms are really concerning.
Well, actually, Steady C, I mean, actually, I agree with you. I agree with you. I think it is serious. I just have to, I mean, the elephant in the room here is, does Rosie acknowledge that her weight may have something to do with this heart problem that she may be experiencing? I mean, most 20-somethings don't have heart attack scares unless they have some kind of genetic condition. So for her to be so concerned about her health while being so unconcerned about her health, it makes her look a little foolish.
And they're not exactly sure what I'm willing to say right now, because I still have to do a stress test tomorrow. They did an echo on my heart. They did, I got a CT scan today. And I haven't heard any of the results back about the CT scan.
Thank you, Nutty. That's what I thought too. And she's like, she was so surprised that when I came in and I told them I had chest pain, they took me very seriously. Rosie, I guess it's just you speak with such an authoritative tone. You're clearly so knowledgeable and credible when you speak. That's what it is. It's not that you're 700 pounds.
Yeah, thank you, Mystic. Yeah. So, it was just like, hey, Cassie, thank you. So yeah, it's just, the good news is it wasn't a heart attack, even though I quite literally had all the symptoms of it. We're trying to see if there's any blood clot issues. They gave me like a blood thinner. They gave me an antibiotic for like an infection.
Her brother drove her. Interesting.
That may or may not be related to this.
Never.
I've also just kind of had a come to Jesus moment about like the state of how I've been caring for myself.
So listen to that here. So she said she had a come to Jesus moment with the state of her caring for herself, which I think that's great, Rosie. I think that's awesome. I think that's great. I mean, that's what I've been hoping for you, that you're finally going to take your health seriously. So what are you going to do about it? Let's hear what she has to say. She's just said that she had a come to Jesus moment. So what's the fallout from that?
I actually just talked to my mom before this live, and she advised that based on where I've been and what's been going on in my life, that I should possibly talk to
right?
some of the mental health.
I mean, cleavage, good thing. We like cleavage at the Docta Fill show here, but there's cleavage and then there's cleavage. Like Rosie's, it's like it's, you know what I mean.
Staff here and see about getting a referral to get restabilized, because a lot of these issues I'm dealing with are not only physical issues.
Oh, welcome in, Goose Chuck. No, thank you so much.
To basically the neglect of myself from like my mental health stuff.
And if anybody wants to,
it's kind of exacerbated a lot of these issues.
And if anybody wants to drop a link to Goose Chuck's channel, definitely, and my mods can drop a link. That'd be much appreciated. Everyone, be sure to check out Goose Chuck as well. Another great creator here. Covers a lot of Gorlworld topics.
And so she said, if you were to go to the mental hospital, it might help you restabilize and get you back on track, because I'm still waiting for my first
therapist. This is Rosie, Quirky Love Rosee. She actually does not like Foodie. I'm not sure why, but she's kind of like a bit more like of an ALR, in my opinion, than a Foodie, but she's got a lot in common with both. She just had a health scare. She just quit her job and just had a health scare, apparently. And maybe, just maybe, it's time for her to stop neglecting her, what'd she say, her health? No, her mental health. It's time to stop neglecting her mental health. Yeah, so this is Rosie. No, not Chantel's long-lost daughter, but it could be, in the same tribe somewhere.
Over a month ago, and the only therapist that I would be able to see outside of insurance.
Oh, stress test. I sorry to keep interrupting, but she did mention she was getting a stress test. For anybody not aware, traditionally a stress test is where they put you on a treadmill and they connect you to put electrodes on you. I don't know exactly the machine they connect you to, but it measures your heart rate, measures your cardiovascular system as you're doing the exercise, and it gives a readout on how good or bad your heart is.
Only be able to see her like once a month or every other month, and that's just not enough support for where I'm at in my mental health issues.
Agreed.
I guess it's better than nothing, but it's really not going to help me go any further than that.
Welcome in, Chantal.
I know that they legally have to treat you.
Yes.
It's just
good.
An insurmountable amount of debt.
Like the actual cleavage starts much later. Like there's the cleavage, and then there's like the faux cleavage above it.
I used to get numbness and pain in my jaw and radiated in my chest when I was getting massive panic attacks. Huh. Yeah, I mean, they're taking it really seriously. I'm really thankful for that.
We can't escape it.
They're not treating me like you're just anxious, type situation. By county insurance, do you mean like Medicaid?
Yes, seriously, like from this is just like a wild like shape for a body to have. Like this is just, she's got a little bit of the Sagittarius shorty face going on here. Don't you think? Like in the face, she looks just a little bit like saggy.
I haven't applied for anything yet. With everything going on in the country, I just don't know if I'd even be accepted.
So she hasn't even applied for any benefits. Why? Because of everything going on in the country? Excuse me. If you haven't applied for benefits, Rosie, because of everything that's going on in the country, I think that your priorities are out of order. If you seriously need benefits, go apply for them. If you don't want to, don't. But don't try to have it both ways and try to blame politics for why you don't have any coverage.
I need to look into it, and my goal was to find a job before I would need that to happen. So sad you have to think about debt.
Welcome in, Clyde.
I live in Canada. Our health system is...
My apologies.
It's free, yeah. Absolutely. It was scary enough that I had to go for an ER and get EKGs, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how painful it was. Like, I've had chest pain from anxiety, and it's not fun.
Nation.
But this event was different.
Oh, she was fired?
What happened was different.
I was not aware of that, Elisa. To be fair, I've heard both, so I wasn't really sure.
for the most of yesterday, I had the chest pain, and then starting in the middle of the night and through today, it's like it's kind of ebbed and flowed. Like right now, the chest pain is kind of present.
I like that.
It's just not as like in my face as it has been. Or a little bit earlier, I had a kind of a flash of it like being really painful again for a little bit.
In the face a little bit. In the
subsided
face a
It's just
little.
like I don't know. You're in Tampa? Oh my! They have county insurance. I'm literally like a county over from Tampa. I need to look into what you're talking about. My mom recommended that I ask to speak with a social worker about what I was just saying. So.
Well, good luck, Elisa. I hope you get some good results of that one. I'm saying a prayer for you. What?
Can y'all hear me? I got a phone call.
Well, that's interesting, Fiona's mom. I was not aware about a chemical stress test. I had not heard of that before. That's very interesting.
Okay, good.
I hope you get some good results too. Oh, everybody gets some good results. All right? Prayers for everybody.
Vocational rehab. What's vocational rehab?
Vocational rehab, I know that one. That's where they give you training to do types of work if you don't have skills. And actually, that might not be so bad for Rosie, because it sounds to me like she's looking for work, but she doesn't really seem to have really be sure what to look for, despite her staunch work history, as she put it.
Thank you, Liz.
It's a mix.
So I was admitted.
It's a mix. But sometimes, I mean, overall, Glitter and Lasers has to be the worst overall, in my opinion. In my opinion, everybody's got their own personal favorites and worsts. Rosie bugs me a lot. She kind of frustrates me more than upsets me. I think that'd be a good way to say it. Glitter and Lasers like gets under my skin. Rosie just kind of frustrates me more than anything.
Yesterday it's around 6. They got me in like immediately, or not admitted. I came into the ER. I got admitted like probably about 4 hours later. Sorry. Yeah, I missed it. Honestly, that's kind of where I'm at too. Like I need to kind of get my health in order. So maybe I should just apply for Medicaid. Oh my God.
Okay, so here's the part where I thought was really relevant. 18 minutes into the video, she said she had a heart attack scare. And she said one word. She said it had a come to Jesus moment about her health. And what'd you just say there?
Sorry. Get my health in order. So maybe
needs to get her health in order. She had a come to Jesus moment. What has she not mentioned, chat? Is there anything that Rosie has not brought up in relation to this health scare? Come to Jesus moment, has to take her health seriously, has to stop neglecting her health. Can anybody think of maybe anything that she could possibly do to achieve that goal? Or is it just there's really nothing that she can do? Rosie, you are literally killing yourself with junk food and lack of activity. And then you're going to talk about getting your health in order after a heart attack scare. And you're not even going to begin to address your diet. You're not taking this seriously, Rosie. So as much as on one hand, you could say that I'm mocking this girl and that I'm denigrating her and I'm putting her down and I'm just taking, laughing at her pain. But no, not really. Not any more than she is. She's making light of her own situation. She's not taking this seriously. She's in denial. So yeah, I'm maybe making a few jokes to draw attention to how serious it is. But I hope Rosie could take this as seriously as it is, because this is not a laughing matter. I'm laughing at it because it is so absurd. Because this is crazy when you think about it.
Maybe I should just apply for Medicaid. Oh my God. The goal will be for me to be on it short term.
Good start, Nutty. Ooh, your hair is thinning. I just noticed that. Good eyes, Mia. Yeah, Rosie's
Yeah, I'm not in
Rosie's hair is
Hillsborough
not so
County.
good.
I'm not going to say what county I'm in just for my general internet safety.
Exactly. She said
but
no real details.
I'm in a neighboring county.
Exactly. Nothing about losing weight.
Oh, okay. Hey, Apple.
Steady C, I think that depends on why they fired her. I'm not an expert, but I think it would depend on why they fired her. If they fired her for specific cause, she probably can't. But if they just kind of just let her go without specifically oh, we're firing you because you suck. If it was just hey, you're gone, we don't need you here anymore, something like that, then I think you can get it. I've heard crazier things than that.
Yeah.
I'm not aware, Mia. I don't know of Rosie having a history with drugs or anything like that. But she certainly has an addictive personality. She certainly is very much addicted to junk food. So I hope and I pray for her sake that she doesn't also have additional addictions like that. Because I don't wish that on anybody. It's very sad to think.
Circle of Care. Okay. What city is that in? That's my big concern because the last time I went to a mental hospital when I didn't have insurance.
Like one of those giant people movers like they have at the airport. One of those could probably hold her.
Was when I was medically kidnapped and had that really extremely traumatic experience.
When she was medically kidnapped. She doesn't, well, yeah, that's right. She just said here, I don't want to go to a inpatient facility because my last time I did, I was medically kidnapped and it was such a terrible experience. Now, it may have been a bad experience, but I heard her story about this, quote, medical kidnapping and doesn't live up to the hype. I'll just say it like that.
They might not go to the mental hospital because I'm too terrified to.
Yep. I haven't heard anything about losing weight.
I'm without the safety of being insured.
Good point, Fiona's mom.
Hello, Brain Spots. I'm here.
Yeah, Foodie's completely lost hers.
Hello, Jennifer.
That's a good theory, Elizu. I mean, it's certainly possible she had a heart problem, but it's also just as likely that she had a panic attack or an anxiety attack or who knows what. And because of her weight and her overall poor health, they didn't want to take any chances. Oh, okay, in this video, she admitted it. All right.
If you guys want to know exactly what happened,
you can.
I've been live for about 20 minutes.
I'll turn that one back. I don't want that one.
About the 2-minute mark. I just explained everything.
Right?
And I'm okay. I don't even know.
Especially because she said that she didn't even have to go to work regularly. She said she would just go in when she felt like it. So she was basically getting health insurance for showing up a couple times a week. That's a pretty sweet deal.
Where Rockledge is. I just don't have a lot of energy, and I don't know how long I'm going to be live for. I just really want to pop in.
It's a medication.
Say hi to you
guys.
Like a
tranquilizer. It can be addictive. Like Valium is a type of benzo, and Xanax is a type of benzo, and those are medications that can be addictive if abused.
And yeah, Carrie, that would be cool.
Just the scare. But
I wanted to pop in because I was bored, and
it probably gets really hot.
I missed y'all, man. I had all these plans for how I was gonna come back. I was excited.
Oh, here, what'd you say? I said she let on because she was bored, I think.
Yeah, I wanted to pop in because I was bored, and
I love that. I wanted to pop in because I was bored. All right, nothing wrong with that, Rosie. But it's so funny how she likes to pretend that she's really on. I miss you guys so much. I'm so good to be back. She comes on. She goes live like once a month, twice a month, maybe. So I don't know.
I missed
Rosie.
y'all, man.
Missed you so much.
I had all these plans for how I was gonna come back. I was excited. My parents already hopped on the plane. That's the thing is.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So yeah, when my niece left, my parents had
was
3 days
just a
left
cycle.
here. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna.
And she signed herself in. That's something I think it's worth mentioning. And that so-called medical kidnapping, she told them that she wanted to. I'm trying to think of a way to say this so YouTube doesn't take it off. She was gonna do herself. That's what she said. She said, "Hey, I'm gonna do myself if you don't if you don't come and do something about it. So she admitted herself to the mental hospital because she was going to take herself out, or she told them that. Then she was there for like 2 days. The doctor said, we think you should stay here longer. But if you don't want to stay here, you have to go now. If you want to stay here, you need to sign this paperwork, and then we're going to hold you for 3 days. So in other words, either we hold you for 3 more days or you leave now. She said, oh, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. They said, well, then you need to sign this paperwork so we can keep you for 3 more days. And she signed it. And then she said, I want to go home. And they said, no, you're staying here for the full 3 days because you're a danger to yourself. And you signed yourself in because you said you were a danger to yourself. So, yeah, she signed herself in because as a danger to herself, and then she wanted to leave early, and then she claimed that they held her hostage.
Deal with YouTube until they leave. But there are other inpatient services.
That was the kidnapping, yeah.
Help. Girl, you need a social worker that can help navigate that. The hospital should be able to help, at least help get the ball rolling. Yeah, for sure. Throughout my visit here, I've been poked like 6 different times, and I think one of them really dug me deep, and it hurts. I hate that. It's the worst. Hello. But, yeah, like I was saying, I've just really missed you guys, and,
I don't know the full story on if Rosie takes meds or not. I always give people the benefit of the doubt. So, I mean, if she says she doesn't, I assume she doesn't. But only time will tell.
I want to get into, like, the cooking lives again. I'm going to have to get really creative, because...
Well, that's a good point, Elise. Hospitals usually are pretty
My
cool.
money is going to be so tight. I'm going to be basically trying to figure out how to, like...
And another thing that kind of bothers me about Rosie is every time she goes live, she always complains about money. And I understand, you go live, especially if you're just doing like a personal live, you can talk about whatever you want. But she talks about money all the time. And she's always just like, it's just very clear that she wants her audience to send money in. And then if anybody says anything to her about it, she gets all offended and is like, oh, well, just because I talk about money problems doesn't mean I'm dry begging. I'm not begging just because I'm just telling you that I have problems. I'm not asking you to give me anything.
Exclusively on, like, the food that's in our food storage and stuff.
Oh, does she?
The food
Okay.
is surprisingly really good at this hospital. I had a meatloaf plate, like, right before I went live. I was so lethargic before, because they put me on
I'm going to keep my eyes open now.
nothing. They call it a nothing by mouth diet. I think they call it like an NPO
sad
diet or something.
Good way to put it.
Because they had me do the CT scan, which they were going to take me to do a CT when I first got here in the ER. And then I was told, I was too big for the machine,
Secret
which I
Squirrel
wasn't
had enough.
surprised by. And then today they're like, we're going to try to do the CT. And I'm like, oh, okay.
And that's another thing too. Rosie is just straight up lazy. And I'm not even talking about how she doesn't go into work. She doesn't like her job, fine. Go get it. Don't do your job. Go to a different job. But she could make money going online, doing these lives. Ostensibly, she enjoys doing this work. Her audience is happy to send her some money. But she only goes live like twice a month. So, come on, Rosie, you got to do a little something.
And then so they take me down there, and the guy's literally like, okay, I'm just going to be real with you. Like, there's a chance that it may not work. And I was like, I know. I totally understand. I'm not offended. It's just the reality. And then he grabs these straps, and
when my mom was in the hospital, that hospital, that rehab they put her in, that first one, the food there was amazingly good. It was so good. Like when she didn't eat her food, I would eat it because it was so good. And I would go down to the cafeteria there and I would get the food, and it wasn't even expensive either. That was the best part. It was all made from scratch and it was not expensive. It was just the cafeteria there was so good. It was so good. The next place she went to was terrible. Oh my God, the food there was so bad. It was like jail, school cafeteria crap. But the first place was delicious.
he's like, we're gonna try to just like compress basically like my stomach area, like the widest part of me.
She did.
And it basically just it just kind of like,
or they squeezed her in.
Makes the like sides of my stomach more compressed essentially. And when he did that, like, because I was like, it was like I was just
I'm sorry,
at the point of where it was like I could possibly fit, but it might impact the reading without it. But then he did that, and then I was able to fit just fine. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I was able to get a contrast CT. I was like, thank God, you know. So, yeah. Hey, Tufa King. Tufa King Petty. Hi.
Oh, and by the way, I know we all like to talk about food and health and stuff here. The other day, I know what I made that was really good and was a really pretty good value. A duck. You can get a frozen duck, like a duck. It's like only 4 something a pound. And yeah, there's bones and stuff. You can't eat the whole thing, but it's so good, especially if you render out some of the fat, because it can be a little fatty. So if you what I do is before I bake it, I first fry it in the pan to fry off some of the extra grease and get the skin nice and crispy. And then I put it in the oven to finish it. To cook it. But I sear it first in the pan. Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Nice. I get it. Okay.
It's not even expensive either.
Thank you. I'm doing my best. NPO, yeah.
Yeah, I put some on the baked potatoes.
Thank you, Nalanda.
Put a little grease in there. It was so good.
I am such a hard stick, Carrie. Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Okay, Mister.
Different
Thank
strokes
you.
for different folks, right?
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the duck. It's a good animal to eat.
I would recommend going back to the beginning. Yeah. I'm honestly might hop off here in about 5 minutes just because I don't think I have a ton of energy to like sit here and yap forever.
So there's one more good thing Rosie says toward the end here, where I want to see the other interesting thing she said.
I do not have the financial means to follow up with a doctor until I. Hey, B. Dawkins.
You know what? We'll just let it run from here.
What are they saying? Who's saying what? I am anticipating I'll likely be coming home tomorrow unless they find more stuff. So yeah, I mean, they've determined that what I experienced wasn't a heart attack. We're just looking to see if we can find some more answers. And it just sucks because like if we don't find any answers, I do not.
I've eaten pheasant. Like I never hunted it myself, but I had like a pheasant once. It was all right. Like it wasn't. I don't know. It was pretty good. It wasn't anything special though. Like.
I have the financial means to follow up
I
with
certainly wouldn't like go out of my way to go hunting for it or anything.
A doctor until I find another job, or if I can get approved for Medicaid, which I know that's what the service is there for, and I wish I didn't feel so guilty about the possibility of needing it.
I love how she says she feels guilty about possibility of needing Medicaid. Rosie, you don't feel guilty about the possibility of needing anything. If you did, you wouldn't be on here telling your audience about how you need money.
But people like me get stereotyped a lot.
Wookie Lover, you're back. Oh. Sorry about it earlier. There was an accident there.
Oh, man.
I think duck's worth a try. I'm not a big fan of turkey.
Thank you, Courtney.
I think so too, Lisa.
I actually made like multiple.
And by the way, let me share something here. Not to give away a bunch of personal information, but in the state of Florida, they have a state insurance program where, in the past, there's been times where I've, needed some, money's been a little tight for me, between jobs kind of thing. And I was able to get the state insurance program, and it was very inexpensive. Basically, just like $20 a month or something. And it covered, all the basic necessities, all the basic services. So I'm sure Rosie would be eligible for the same program.
New friends of people in the area.
I mean, it might have changed in the last year or two or whatever. I mean, I don't, but I'm assuming it's similar.
Getting to know. So I won't be sharing like too many details. One of them fell out so badly.
Oh, welcome in,
and
Honey
I
West.
told the story on the internet. Some of y'all would have a.
So also confirming here, Rosie was fired for excessive absences from her job from home.
Fucking field day. Because it's messy and crazy.
And for anybody just tuning in,
I want to get.
Rosie is in the hospital here. She had a heart attack scare. Could have been a panic attack. Could have been allergies. But at her body weight, the hospital took it seriously.
I have, Nashi. I have. And here I thought you were having a good time offline. Well, for a portion of it I did. Like spending time with my niece was amazing. She's 12. I can't believe the little baby that I used to hold is 12. She's a great kid. I have no idea, baby carrots. I mean, they haven't found any evidence of a heart attack, or as far as I know, they haven't found any evidence of heart issues yet. But
And notice how Rosie spent over 29 minutes talking about her health in the doctor's office here in the hospital. Never once mentioned anything relating to weight, never mentioned anything relating to fitness, never mentioned anything about her own ability to influence her health, despite saying that she needs to start taking her health seriously. She's made zero acknowledgement of what that would entail.
good. Okay, thank you, Nico. I saw a girl who was detoxing badly and couldn't stop puking. The nurses didn't care. It was so scary to witness. I said she needed help, and yeah.
Right?
This is more than a panic attack.
I think that's included with the
And I wasn't like
state
in
program.
a state of emotional distress. I mean, yeah, I was like unhappy that my parents were leaving, but I mean, I don't think I had a full-fledged panic attack over it. You know what I mean? Thank you, Jennifer.
Hey, nothing wrong with getting something useful for the kitchen if it's genuinely good. Yeah, they are, really are. I can't get over how her cleavage, like it's like her front butt. Really, it's like it's not fair to call that cleavage, but like she's literally got a pillow, like her shoulder fat has become like a pillow. It's crazy. Like just the wow. Like if that was actually her boob, she would have like the most gigantic boobs.
Yeah, my brother and I stay in the same place.
Yeah, I'm sure it costs a lot. I mean, it's not free tax. It costs a lot of tax money, but it seems like a good program. I mean, it seems to be pretty efficient. It doesn't, it just provides, the necessities that you need. I feel like her arm would get
American
numb.
healthcare is so horrible. Getting healthcare shouldn't be dependent on your employment. Yup. I agree completely. Yes, we did, Vernon. We did, like right before my niece came to visit. Hello. Yeah, he's already helped me. He was great. He drove me here, and I was honestly just expecting him to drop me off just because of the dynamic that we have. But he like got out of his car and like he walked up to the desk before I even was like fully walking away from the car and telling them the situation.
That's sweet. Her brother drove her there and even helped out. Her brother seems like a good kid.
And he stayed with me. I had to remind him that he needed to go park the car, and then he did and came back and just kind of sat there for a bit. And then once he realized that this was going to be like a longer ordeal, he went home. And I was like, you can go home. Like, there's a certain point where I was like, because he said he stayed for a bit, and then he asked if there was somewhere he could go walk around. And
that's so sweet. He stayed with her. He's like, oh, he wanted to stay with her and help her. Your brother seems like a nice kid.
I texted him and I was like, hey, like I think I'm gonna be here for a bit. This was before they told me they were gonna admit me, but I was like, I think I'm gonna be here for a bit. So if you want to go home and rest, like please do. And subpar. Yeah, definitely recommend going back to the beginning. I explained the whole scenario and situation. So yeah, all right. I really want to yap with y'all. I gotta think of some way to.
If that's what you gotta do,
I got something to talk about.
That's perfectly.
Or I gotta go to like later.
I can respect that.
I feel like I've only been here for 30 minutes, but I'm just like drained. Ugh.
I feel like Rosie is pretty darn lazy. I really do, and I'm not gonna say that you should be excited and to go work some job that you don't enjoy, but. Like, what about doing the lives? She's like, why doesn't she even enjoy doing these lives? Like, there must be something she enjoys doing, right? Like, I could understand if she doesn't get excited to do phone calls all day, but there must be something that she wants to do, right? Like, because that seems if that's the only work that she's trying to get, then then she's never gonna get a job that she wants to do if that's the only work she seeks out.
Hello. Yeah, me too, Carrie. Yeah, I've had a lot of people reach out, and I've chatted with a couple people when I've had the energy to. texted here and there a little bit, but I just don't have the energy to like have long-standing text exchanges.
And I feel like Rosie, I mean, it has to be mentioned. She's so darn big. I think that it impacts her energy. I think that, I mean, I know that when I was heavier, I certainly had less energy. It wasn't to the point where it was a problem, but I was not as energetic as I am now. And if I was as big as Rosie was, I couldn't imagine, I don't think I could have any energy to do much of anything. I just want to lay down all day. If I was 600 pounds, I would have no energy. Yeah. I mean, just taking a shower would that would be your full day's chores. You know, you'd be so tired out and depressed.
Thank you guys. But yeah. Thank you, Vernon. I just think that like one of the things that I'm really kicking myself over is like I have pretty significant medication anxiety, and
medication anxiety.
I have just not been taking care of myself for a bit now and not prioritizing the routine of my medication and just coming up with excuses.
Huh? So she just doesn't take her meds? Is that what she, like, maybe somebody in the chat can help me interpret that a little bit better? She said she has medication anxiety and she's not been taking her meds, not been, what was that wording she used?
One of the things that I'm really kicking myself over is, like, I have pretty significant medication anxiety, and I have just not been taking care of myself for a bit now and not prioritizing the routine of my medication and just coming up with excuses. One second.
Yeah, she looks really sleepy. She looks like she's ready to pass out. She is too, she's too heavy to do much of anything. Yeah. Yeah, there's, you know, it's one thing to be lazy, it's another thing to be just completely, like, just do nothing lazy, you know? Like, there's levels to it. That's, I mean, when you're that big, that's, I mean, I wonder how many miles of blood vessels, you extra miles of blood vessels somebody gets when they're that size. Like, how much farther does the heart have to pump the blood? It's probably a lot. Like, literally miles.
So,
Just forgot, or just too lazy to take them. That's, yeah, what the heck is medication anxiety even? Just another diagnosis.
I think I'll probably just go. When did I get there? Yesterday.
Get help, Rose. Seriously.
Got here.
Rosie's talking like, oh, well, I had a come to Jesus moment. I need to stop neglecting my health. Then stop. Stop neglecting your health. I mean, you don't need to make big changes. You just need to make small changes. You just need to stick with them, though.
But yesterday.
Gotta stick with those
and I
small
have
changes.
to stay till tomorrow. I don't know if I'm getting discharged or not tomorrow. Thank you, Nicotine. I miss cooking with you guys, and it's going to be interesting because I'm in a I'm in a bit of a stressful pickle in life right now. Yeah, you can definitely message me on Instagram, Carrie.
I don't even know what that means.
Because I kind of hinted at it in a past live, but you know, I kind of like.
Good point, Catsy. That's something that's very a good point, because Rosie does spend like a lot of time and effort doing nothing. Like, she spends how many hours a day does she spend just preparing food and just, you know, buying food and organizing food and preparing meals and eating the food, and like just food itself, it like takes up a huge amount of time in her day, like thinking about food. She actually does a lot of work. It's just work that, you know, doesn't benefit anyone.
Almost. All the extra money I had to help my parents get to Norway, because of we had our reasons for it. And it was very important, and it was extremely beneficial. And my parents have been extremely supportive of me, and like, you know, it's like I help them, they help me, kind of a thing. And so, I'm not gonna have really any extra money except to pay the couple bills. Maybe
if somebody told Rosie that if she lost weight, she could still say she's not able, like, she doesn't want to work and she wants to be lazy. If she lost weight, she could still be lazy. You don't have to be fat to be lazy, right? Like, you can be thin and lazy. Maybe it's not it's not like a stereotype. Like people don't think of people who are thin as being lazy, but there's no reason why you can't be thin and lazy. You could be both.
For obviously because I'm unemployed. So my goal is going to be to get really creative, like with what's in the house. And my mom bought some random stuff that she ended up never using.
That sounds awful.
So I want to
it makes sense though. I understand where you're coming from, but it does sound terrible. I'm sorry to hear that.
I want to, like, my first live back, I was planning on doing like a fridge clean out and like take inventory of everything in there and the freezer, and then kind of like try to come up with different recipe ideas that we could make on live together. So
I try to avoid meds for the most part. I mean, I think most people try to, although there are people, there's some people, like I have a family member who she's from that generation. Like, I think the boomer generation where they just, everything that's wrong, take a pill, take an aspirin. You have pain, take an aspirin. You have heartburn, take a Tums. You have this, take that. That generation of boomers who just, everything that's wrong, take a pill. Everything can be solved with a pill.
Yeah, so my blood sugar was not great, but not like life-threatening or like super bad. But
I love that. It was not great, but it wasn't life-threatening. Like, you know, like I wasn't gonna die. Like I'm still alive, right? So my blood sugar is not that bad. I'm still alive, right? That's not really, that doesn't actually mean it's good. It wasn't life-threateningly bad. Oh, okay. Well, then there's nothing to worry about.
Not great. Like that's just the reality. So that's something else that I'm gonna have to.
And wasn't she confidently saying a few weeks ago she didn't have diabetes? I don't have diabetes. My blood sugar is not great. I mean, it wasn't life-threateningly bad, though.
Get figured out. And, yeah. You're creative in the kitchen. Thank you.
I think so, too, Jamie.
If you want to go back to the beginning, Sully.
I think you're right.
How am I grifting? What the fuck?
Welcome in. Here you are. Good to see you. Hopefully you're having a great evening.
Why would I go into so much fucking debt?
We got Rosie on tonight. She just did a live.
Stupid. Whatever. Yeah, I haven't asked for a goddamn thing. Thank you, Nashi.
Ooh, Elizu, that's an important one. A lot of people, especially if they're on a lot of pain meds, for whatever, if they're on like prescription pain meds, it's easy for them to not realize how much pain they have. So they'll like ignore like an injury because they just won't feel the pain like enough. Like that happened to me once when I hurt my ankle pretty badly, and I got the doctor gave me a bunch of pain pills because it was pretty pressed up, and I took the pain pills, and I forgot my ankle hurt, and I tried to walk on my ankle, and then I would be like, oh crap, my ankle's all messed up. But the point is that if you take a bunch of pain pills, you might not even realize. Like pain pills can make it so you don't realize how many problems you actually have. I'm not articulating myself well. It's getting late, getting tired. I'm chewing on my words.
Yeah, struggling with planning, exactly. Yep.
Right? The true colors come out.
Yeah, do you know what website that is subpar? I've heard about that.
How am I grifting?
Yeah, people are delusional.
F off.
People think that just having a monetized YouTube channel means you're grifting. Like, you're fucking crazy, man.
It's not that your channel's monetized that makes you grifter. It's that you keep talking about money on monetized streams. That's why. If you did, Rosie, if you did like a video on your Facebook or something, or your Instagram, if you did a video on your personal social media that was only going to be seen by your close personal friends and family, and you talked about money troubles, I don't think that would be grifting. If you do streams for an audience, and there's an option for those audience members to contribute to the streams, I don't think that's grifting. In fact, where's my link? I'm still getting my monetization fixed with this channel. It's an issue with my mail. I at least figured out what's wrong. But until I get the mail situation resolved, I am no longer monetized on YouTube. But you can make a support to this channel through Cash App, $sign Docta Fill. The link is on the channel homepage in the About tab. So Yes, back to what I was saying. So if that's grifting, well, then I guess I'm a grifter. But having an option to donate does not make you a grifter. Having an option to donate and then talking about how broke you are and trying to, complaining about money problems, that's kind of crossing the line. That's where it starts to become grifting, in my opinion. Simply having a donation link is not grifting.
It's hot in here. Ugh.
Yeah, what did
That's
she?
why people just love to hate.
So let's think about it. How many times did Rosie mention money in this video? She mentioned not having health insurance. She mentioned losing her job. She mentioned applying for over 100 jobs. She mentioned how she can't find a job. She mentioned how she can't afford to go to the hospital. She mentioned how she can't afford to get her health under control. She said this numerous times. She's always talking about what she can't afford, how she's too broke for this and too broke for that. And it comes across as dry begging.
Yeah, I'm not the kind of person that just comes to the ER for fun. Like I've never been that way. I don't like it here. I don't want to be here. This was actually a pretty miserable experience today. I was being poked and prodded, so much people coming in like every 10 minutes, like just craziness and whatever. I can't control other people's malicious intent.
Yes, she is in a hospital. Here
Okay, subpar, thank you. Because I've heard of that website. I know what you're talking about.
Heart attack scare.
I'm just I'm not it's just so frustrating because I'm talking about my future content. I'm not talking specifically about.
I don't know about Medicaid, but I know in the state of Florida they do have a state insurance program where you can get insurance through the state pretty cheaply. So I'm not sure about like national Medicaid, but I know that in the state of Florida where Rosie is, she can access healthcare affordably.
Food. Talking about how I want to go about the cooking content, but whatever. And Kristen, if you want to know more details, I'd recommend starting back at the beginning of the live about like the 2-minute mark for the full update.
Right?
On
it's not like
everything.
it came up once or twice. I mean, it's constant.
But
the entire video, every 5 minutes, she says something about she has no money.
depending on how tomorrow goes, I probably won't go live, but
I mean, she said she was bored, so in fairness, maybe she was just bored. But yeah, it just seems a little bit convenient. I can't afford to go to the hospital. I'm in this hospital and I can't afford to pay my bill.
My goal is, once I'm home and I'm feeling more like myself, is to do lives a lot more regularly, at least until I get another full-time job. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I had different life circumstances going on since we were talking about
But Rosie, it'll put your niece at risk. Are you sure you want to go live? Your niece is going to be at risk if you go live.
This is money. They will say it's dry begging, not saying you are, Rose, just stay ignoring them. Yeah, that's so crazy that, like, just talking about, like, honestly talking about what you're going through is dry begging.
It's so crazy that talking about how you need money on a stream when there's a link to donate money. Why would people think that I'm asking for money? It's crazy. Why would people think that? This is gaslighting.
Not being like, my life is so hard, I just wish somebody would help me.
That's literally what you're doing. That's literally what you're doing, Rosie.
Not said anything like that, you know what I mean?
No, you literally have. You've said numerous times that you can't afford this and you can't afford that and how hard it is.
But people will just be like, I spent all my money on something and life's kind of tight and I have to wait and get it figured out, and I'll get it figured out. And they'll take that as dry begging, and I'm like, are you insane?
But that's not how you're phrasing it. If you said it like that, it'd be a little different. But that part about, I got to figure it out, I'm going to figure that, you never say that. You always say, I'm having problems, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Not technically. I was technically fired. I won't even lie. But I also just kind of like...
Oh, there you go. She said she's got fired. All right. There's the truth. Well,
I guess you can call
at least she's being honest.
Quiet quit. I just didn't give a fuck. I was also
that's an interesting theory.
Really struggling with my mental health and shit. And
I mean,
my job was killing my soul. But
Rosie tends to be somebody who panics and who just doesn't really she tends to look at things on the surface and make big decisions quickly, at least from what I've seen. So that makes sense.
with what I'm currently dealing with right now, I kind of wish that maybe I'd handle things a little differently. I don't think I qualify for unemployment if they fired me. So,
I mean,
I
that
also
could be
didn't work
good,
for them
but
super
that
long,
could be
so-
bad too sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't fully ghost them. I just only went to work when I felt like it. Well, not when I felt like it, but when I...
I love that. The Freudian slip. She lets it out. I only went to work when I felt like it. I mean, not when I felt like it. When I could, when I wasn't too sick, you know, when I was able. I only went when I felt like it. Thank you for being honest, Rosie. I know you didn't intend to be honest, but I appreciate it still. Let's hear that again.
Long, so when I felt like it.
When I felt like it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't fully ghost them. I just only went to work when I felt like it. Well, not when I felt like it, but when I like...
Yeah, when I felt like it. Not when I felt, I mean, yeah, when I felt like it.
When I could, frankly, when I could, because I was like...
When I could, yeah.
Going through a lot of shit at the time. And it's like so frustrating because it was like about a week after I stopped working, parts of my life improved significantly because I wasn't feeling so sick from the constant stress of that specific job. Had no proper infrastructure to help the employees. It was awful.
Had no proper infrastructure to help the employees. What help did you require as an employee? I mean, I'm not saying that you didn't require any. I'm just interested to know, what help did you require? I mean, if the job is putting you through some, you know, extreme circumstances, then they should provide you some relief. But what were the what is the relief that you believe you were entitled to?
Thank you, Deborah. I worked remotely for a utility company. They were god awful.
Go to work. If that was a typo, that was a good one. The hoe to work when you feel like it. It must be nice.
I'm
It
doing
is
okay.
nice.
Thank you so much.
The hoe to
super
work.
chat fan page. Appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think that I think that not only like am I gonna do better just because like the help I'm gonna get at the hospital, but I'm gonna take this in stride and, you know, even though I won't be able to make all of the changes that I want to immediately, I will be making some changes, and there are some things that are within my control that...
I love this part. I will be making, where she finally, Rosie lays down the law, and she's done being a victim. She's going to take charge. She's going to take charge of her health, of her life, and she's taking control. How's she going to do it? Let's hear it.
Take this in stride and, you know, even though I won't be able to make all of the changes that I want to immediately, I will be making some changes, and there are some things that are within my control that I've been making too many excuses for, and that I haven't been prioritizing, making a priority for my health, and that's 120% on me and me alone. And
well, there you go. I mean, that problem solved. This girl's taking accountability. I mean, do we even need to check back in? I mean, she's as good as fixed.
So working and challenging myself to be better and do better on that and build the habit of my medication properly. That is just something that I really, really need to do. And this experience has taught me that in a newfound way. So it's embarrassing to me sometimes.
I will say sometimes the unemployment and sometimes can be such a hassle. It's easier just to go to work. Like it really is. Like I've looked at the unemployment stuff. Just go back to work. It's easier. The unemployment is such a hassle to collect.
Times how like frustrating and difficult it can be for me to do the basics of like taking care of myself. You know, like it's just like frustrating on myself. You know, off topic, but your eyebrows are.
It really
perfect.
does.
Yeah, thank you so much. I look so hot right now. Can't you tell? Lord, oh my God, I'm a mess. Look at that.
It looks like her head is like just disconnected from her body. Like it looks like her head is just like, it looks like somebody cut off her head and just put it on top of her body. Like it's not actually connected.
Alpha ass shit.
And she really has that gourd pear-shaped head. Like it really comes down out at the sides and the bottom. Although that could be the camera angle.
So.
Uh-oh, you're right. I'm not going to dox her.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
The fuck was that? Anyway,
That really is. Like, I can understand if she missed a day here and there, you know, maybe she took some time off, but like just to like not show up like regularly, just not even bother, and to not even call them up either. Like, she didn't even, like, from what it sounds like, she didn't even tell them. She just didn't show up. She didn't even bother to call up and be like, hey, yeah, I can't make it. That's pretty weak.
I was gonna say something.
That's pretty weak.
Oh, and like, also part of my break that I was taking, I feel like was fueled a lot by the state of the world, because I just didn't know how to function without talking about everything, like, globally. You know, what's happening in my state of Florida, hospital ghosts, right? It's just, we're living in terrifying times.
And Fiona's mom, I glossed over that. But when she was talking about how she needs to start making some changes and things are in her control. But Rosie, what about the most obvious thing that you can control? Your health, your weight, your diet. You don't need to make big changes. You can make small changes and they will have big results.
And I just didn't know how to come on camera and smile and pretend like things are fine, and without like talking about alligator Alcatraz and what the fuck the president's doing and all this shit. I'm so viscerally angry.
Rosie is always so angry, but she never really has like she never seems to really have any full understanding of a lot of issues. Like, she just seems to always be, and I mentioned this once before, I don't want to get into anything political, of course, but I feel like Rosie just doesn't really seem to have a very deep understanding of the things she discusses. Like she reads the headline and that's all she knows.
What the fuck do you mean that there's alligator Alcatraz merch? It makes me irate. So,
like, I remember when she posted that that link for other people to donate to some political cause. I was like, Rosie, you're so tone deaf.
Anywho.
Butternut squash it. Yeah, the S-jam shape, the gourd.
Thank you for caring. Also, remember, we need somewhere we can de-stress, and this could be your place for that. That's very true, Liz. I do appreciate that. I just don't want people to ever think that me not talking about those things is silence or like.
People, Rosie, you really think that people are that concerned for your opinion on these subjects? Oh my God, but what does Rosie think? But what does Rosie hasn't spoken out on these issues. If Rosie hasn't spoken out on these issues, I mean, do they even matter?
Like, or there's a complacency within silence, you know?
Rosie, the fact that you're lazy and complacent has nothing to do with you not opening up your mouth to whine.
It's fucking evil what's happening on so many levels. And then the most recent update about Epstein, just the blatant, repeated, like, lies over and over and over. Oh my God. Hello, Adam. If you want to go back and to about the 2-minute mark, I explained the whole thing.
It doesn't get frustrating because Rosie's always talking about how much she hates capitalism and how she's a socialist and all this stuff, but she lives the most consumerist, the most gluttonous and westernized capitalist existence that's possible.
I just don't have the energy to re-explain it. It's not at all trying to be rude.
I think she is. I think she's trying. I can't stand it either, but it's almost over. So whether you love it or you hate it, it's only another minute.
Hello. All right, guys. I want to keep chatting, but I think I got to stop. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Hopefully, like I said, like, this isn't like anything super life-threatening or scary. It's just...
It's not super life-threatening or scary. Well, actually, Rosie, it should be scary. It should scare you enough into making some changes, but I don't think it will.
You know, I mean, it's not like, it's a little scary, but not like scary, you know? Like,
not scary enough to actually change anything. Not scary enough to actually make any real changes in one's health. All right. So now I think that's about it for tonight. I wanted to cover Andrew Ditch as well, but Rosie kind of hopped onto the scene tonight, and she kind of became the main subject for the ending tonight. So thank you folks for coming by. You're a fantastic audience, as always. I really appreciate you folks. Yeah, if you enjoyed the show, be sure to click that like button. Click that subscribe bell if you'd like to see more of this content, and leave a comment if you're watching the replay. Hopefully everybody had a wonderful night. I certainly have. I was not able to cover Andrew tonight, but there was not any new content with him, so it is what it is. I'll get to him next week. Have a great night, everybody. Feel well. And enjoy your weekend, whatever. Enjoy it. Yeah, thank you very much, Tucker. Thank you, everybody. Y'all are awesome. Have a wonderful night. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. And be healthy. That's right, be healthy. Have a great evening and be healthy. Good night, everyone. I wish I could put on the little video thing, but StreamYard. I need to change over to a different software because StreamYard is not good anymore. They just changed the service, as I mentioned earlier. All right, good night, everybody.